Welcome back to the Current Electric High School Football State Championship Preview Show presented by Cannon and Dumpy. I am Mike McGivern. Thanks so much for joining us as we get you ready for the 10 a.m. kickoff as the Crusaders from Catholic Memorial take on the Tritons from Notre Dame for the Division III state title, followed by Division II game between Slinger and Rice Lake. Let's start with the Slinger Owls. 13-0 overall and the champions of the North Shore Conference. They beat the defending state champion Lake Geneva Badger 35-28 to advance to the first state championship game at Slinger since 1998. We are now joined by the head football coach for the Slinger Owls. He is Bill Jacklin. Coach, I've talked to you more the last couple weeks than I've talked to my wife, brother. How you been?
Great. And I'm happy you have.
Yeah,
that means we're doing something right.
You guys are still rolling. Coach, I talked to Bill Young about being the cardiac kids. You guys are kind of the cardiac kids as well. That win against Homestead and the win against Lake Geneva Badger had to do some things at the end of games that really impressive to me. A lot of courage and guts the Slinger Owl team has.
Yeah, they like I said, I trust our kids wholeheartedly. I've made some calls that I haven't called in the past, but they made me a believer, and I trust them, and so we took a few risks, but there's big rewards when you take risks.
Coach, I got it. I had you on my radio show, and I have to ask you to tell the story. The last two Thursday practices, near the end of practices, you've kind of said, let's put this in, right? You put in some tall guys on in case we have to block a field goal, and you went out and did that. And then you put in a kind of a heavy package and said, hey, we might need this. And you used it in last week's game. You got to be smiling some of the stuff as coaches that we put in during the year we never use. And you've done things at the end of Thursday practices that you've used to help you win games to get to state. I'm not going to ask you what you did this week on Thursday, but those two things definitely worked.
Yes, those are just things that just popped up, and we're like, I don't know someone in the staff, or we just say, hey, what if this happens? Yeah, you're right. Let's just put a plan together just in case. And you're right. There's so many things as a coach you practice all year, fake punts and onsides that you never use. And but the kids think you do, so they try really hard. but we're fortunate enough that we put those in, and they did help us win some games.
So talking to Coach Young, I said, look, I believe you've got an angel sitting on the bench with you. And he said, I agree. And Coach, same for you. And I've got to believe that, being able to continue this journey to get to a state championship game has really helped, I think, you mentally and your family kind of stay together. And I think you would agree that you've got this angel on the bench, maybe giving you some ideas at the end of Thursday's practices saying, Billy, why don't you put this in? And I think that she's looking down, smiling that you guys are still playing.
I agree wholeheartedly. Chase and I had a special moment at the end of that game last Friday, and we talked about that. And him and I both feel it. We both feel it. We feel, his grandma, my mom, dad up there, and Brenda up there. And there's definitely some things that go on in a game, and you can't always explain them. And I'm going to chalk it up to that.
Amen to that. Coach, it's been a bit since Slinger. Football has been at a state, and I'm wondering what this community, and Slinger's a football community, and the love that they have for you and your family is really strong. This thing, there's not a lot of homework being handed out this week. Everybody's getting prepared to get it to Camp Randall, and I got to ask you what the atmosphere is like in the Slinger community for this team.
Electric. We left on last Friday. The streets were lined with people, signs blow up. Owls. It was crazy. And I'll give this, Lake Geneva Badger travels well too. That game was the loudest football game I've ever coached in. They had to call timeouts because they couldn't get calls in, and I'm trying to talk to my coaches next to me. It's like we're just hollering at each other. It's almost like you're angry. We're not angry. You just can't hear. It was electric. I've never been part of a football game like last Friday. How the volume in the crowd.
Well, and at Camp Randall, it won't be that loud because you're not going to fill it up. But I'll tell you this, the entire Slinger community, and then some. I know a bunch of people from Hartford that aren't big Slinger fans, but they are now, and they are rooting for you. And there's a lot of people that, are hoping that the Owls get up to Camp Randall and get a win. I can tell you this: that the team you're playing, Rice Lake, they've been there before, and this is a team that understands and has a template on how to do this. Coach, yeah, you've watched film on them. That's a really good football team you're playing.
Yes, coached very well. Like, that's what you notice on tape. Like, just you're gonna have to, have some one-on-one matchups that you win because they don't give you stuff that, like, just because they cheat somewhere else or they come off the edge. They play a very sound football that is very noticeable on every game we watched. So, we're gonna have to work hard and, to get ready for this. I know they've been there a lot. I spent 50 minutes with Pat Rice on Sunday just talking logistics, and I'm good friends with him, and, he's done a lot for me over the years. I appreciate that man greatly, and, he helped me out with, a lot of things that I just took off my plate.
Man, if there's a guy, nicer guy in the state of Wisconsin that has more knowledge about football, he is that guy, and I really enjoy the time that I get to spend with Pat on my radio show. Um, Coach, when I look at Slinger, Theda, your quarterback, and we talk about him a lot. Man, he's a big time football player. I don't know if people knew that coming into this year, but down the stretch, some of the plays that he has made, not only with his arm, but with his feet. Coach, he's an incredible high school football player.
Yeah, I still don't know if people appreciate him. We appreciate him. You don't even know how much we put so much on his plate as far as just getting plays in. He has basically reads on almost every play. He can decide, I don't like, my key is telling me I should throw a bubble, or my key is telling me I should run, or I should just hand it off. He does it all. Very calm, cool, collective kid. I think that's where his strength is. Like I said to everybody, heart and soul of our football team. I mean, he is the leader. It is no doubt he is the leader. But he does it in such a, like, gentle, loving way. I mean, the kids just love him, and I told you, all his buddies are on defense, so during practice, it is back and forth, chirping at each other, but in a really, like, friendly way.
Well, he's a really good kid, I'll tell you that. 4 o'clock today, kickoff. Hey, Coach, normally I don't really have a dog in the fight. I'm a Slinger Owl fan, and I'm hoping that you bring that gold ball home. A lot of memories being made. You know what? Go enjoy it. Take a lot of snapshots in your mind so you never forget this, Coach. Congratulations.
I appreciate you, man. I really do. You're right here with me,
Amen.
and, everything you do is just fantastic, and I appreciate what you do for all high school sports. It's
Man,
awesome.
Coach, I appreciate that. On the other side of the break, Zach Bellman from the Journal Sentinel is going to join us. We're going to look at the Rice Lake Warriors. This is the Current Electric High School Football State Championship Preview Show presented by Cannon and Dumpy, only on My 24.